Marie Lawson agreed to let her fiancé sleep with other women to save their relationship. 24 hours later, she was slow dancing with Los Angeles' most feared Mafia boss while her ex watched from across the room. Realizing too late that the woman he'd called too conventional had just become completely untouchable. If forbidden romance and sweet revenge are your guilty pleasure, you're about to fall in love with this story. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss when I drop a new tale of betrayal and the dangerous men who worship the women everyone else underestimated. Smash that like button and drop a comment telling me what you're doing right now and what city you're in. I read every single one. Now let's get into Marie's journey from heartbreak to something wickedly perfect.
I think we should explore polyamory. For us. For growth.
What?
I think we should explore polyamory. For us. For growth. 4 words. 18 letters. The end of everything Marie Lawson thought she knew about Derek Mitchell. They were sitting at Nobu Malibu, the expensive one with the ocean view that made reservations 3 months in advance. The table had candles, white tablecloth, a bottle of wine Derek had ordered without asking what she wanted, which should have been the first sign. But Marie was still operating under the assumption that this was a normal Thursday night dinner with her fiancé of 3 months. She stared at him, blinked, waited for the punchline. Derek smiled, the same smile he'd used when pitching investors on his tech startup, rehearsed, confident, completely disconnected from the bomb he'd just dropped. "I've been reading about it," he continued, like he was discussing a new productivity app instead of destroying their relationship. Ethical non-monogamy. It's actually the evolved approach to modern relationships. We could both benefit from expanding our connections. Marie's stomach dropped. The wine glass in her hand suddenly felt too heavy, too fragile. Like if she squeezed any harder, it would shatter, and she'd bleed all over the white tablecloth and ruin everything. "Polyamory," she repeated. Her voice sounded distant, someone else's voice. "I know it sounds unconventional, but hear me out." Derek leaned forward, earnest now. "We've been together 4 years, engaged for 3 months. The wedding's in 12 weeks. And I love you, Marie. I do. But I think we're limiting ourselves by adhering to outdated relationship structures. Outdated relationship structures." He said it like he was quoting an article. He probably was. Marie set down her wine glass carefully, very carefully. "What does that actually mean, Derek, in practice?" "It means we stay committed to each other as primary partners, but we're free to explore connections with other people. Sexually, emotionally, whatever feels authentic." Authentic. Another buzzword. Marie wondered if he'd made a PowerPoint presentation for this conversation. Probably had it saved on his laptop under a folder titled Relationship Optimization, or some equally soulless phrase. "Who?" Marie asked. The question felt like swallowing glass. Derek blinked. "What? Who do you want to sleep with?" A flicker of something crossed his face. Guilt, maybe, or satisfaction that she'd figured it out so quickly. "Her name is Sophia. She's been working with our startup for the past 6 months. Junior developer. Very talented. Very open-minded about relationship structures." Of course she was. Marie's hands were shaking. She pressed them flat against the table. "You're already sleeping with her?" "No." Derek reached for her hand. She pulled back. "I swear, Marie, I haven't touched her, but there's chemistry there, and I don't want to be dishonest about it. That's why I'm having this conversation. I want us to do this right, together, with full transparency." Transparency. After 6 months of chemistry with someone else, after planning a wedding, after 4 years of promising her she was enough. Marie looked around the restaurant, saw a woman 3 tables away watching them. Young, beautiful, Korean, dressed in a white slip dress that cost more than Marie's monthly gallery curator salary. The woman smiled when Marie made eye contact. "Is that her?" Marie asked. Derek didn't even have the decency to look surprised. "I wanted you to meet her, to see that this doesn't have to be threatening. Sophia's really excited about the possibility of getting to know you." The room tilted. Marie gripped the edge of the table. "You brought her to our dinner. I thought it would help you see this isn't about replacing you. It's about addition, not subtraction. Addition, not subtraction." Like Marie was a mathematical equation instead of the woman who'd given up her curator position at the Met to move to Los Angeles for his startup, who'd spent 4 years supporting his dreams while putting her own career on hold, who'd planned a wedding around his mother's vacation schedule and his company's product launch timeline. "I need to think," Marie said. Her voice was steady. She was proud of that. Steady voice while everything inside her shattered. "Take the night," Derek said, like he was being generous. "But Marie, I need you to understand something. I'm doing this either way. The only question is whether you're staying or going." There it was. The real ultimatum hiding behind all the ethical non-monogamy language. Agree or lose everything. Marie thought about her life. The Brentwood apartment she'd moved into 6 months ago. Derek's name on the lease, not hers. The career she'd abandoned in New York. The wedding venue they'd already put deposits on. The dress in her closet that cost 3 months of savings. Her mother in hospice in New York, asking every phone call when she'd see Marie walk down the aisle. She thought about being 28 and starting over in a city where she knew no one except her fiance's friends and colleagues. Being broke and alone and explaining to everyone that the wedding was off because Derek wanted to sleep with his co-worker. "Okay," Marie heard herself say. "I'll think about it." Derek smiled, reached across the table and squeezed her hand, like she'd agreed to change the wedding venue instead of agreeing to let him cheat with permission. "I knew you'd understand. You're so evolved, Marie. That's what I love about you." Evolved. Like being devastated was enlightenment. Marie stood. Her legs felt numb. "I need the restroom." She walked past tables of happy couples and families and people whose fiancés weren't suggesting polyamory 3 months before the wedding. She locked herself in the bathroom stall and stared at the white tile until her vision blurred. She didn't cry. Couldn't. The tears were trapped somewhere behind her sternum, turning into something harder, something that tasted like rage. Her phone buzzed. A text from Derek. "Sophia wants to say hi before she leaves. Just come say hello when you're ready." No pressure. No pressure. After ambushing her at dinner, after bringing his mistress, because that's what Sophia was, regardless of whatever ethical language Derek wrapped around it, to their table. Marie deleted the text, walked out of the bathroom, walked past their table where Derek and Sophia were now talking, heads close together, laughing about something. She walked straight out of Nobu Malibu and didn't look back. Marie walked for 20 minutes before she realized she had nowhere to go. The ocean was dark beside her. Pacific Coast Highway stretched ahead with its stream of headlights and expensive cars. She was wearing heels that cost $200 and a dress Derek had bought her for his company's last investor dinner. Her purse held her phone, wallet, and keys to an apartment that wasn't hers. She called an Uber, gave the driver Derek's Brentwood address because that was the only address she had in Los Angeles. The apartment was empty when she arrived. Derek was probably still at Nobu, probably still with Sophia, probably explaining to her how well the conversation had gone, how evolved Marie was, how open-minded. Marie poured wine, sat on the couch in the dark, stared at nothing. Her phone lit up. Derek, where did you go? We need to talk about this like adults. She didn't respond. Another text. I'm coming home. Sophia's coming too. We should all talk. Clear the air. Marie's hand tightened around her phone. Sophia was coming here. To the apartment Marie had arranged furniture in, hung art in, tried to make into a home. She should leave, pack a bag, check into a hotel. But the wine was already working through her bloodstream, and her legs felt too heavy to move, and some dark, stubborn part of her wanted to see exactly how far Derek would push this. They arrived 30 minutes later. Marie heard their voices in the hallway before the door opened, laughing, light, like they were coming home from a date. Derek walked in first, saw her on the couch. Marie, hey, you okay? Fine. Her voice was flat. Sophia appeared behind him. Overnight bag on her shoulder. Overnight bag, like she'd planned to stay regardless of how the dinner went. Marie, Sophia said, her smile bright and poisonous. I'm so glad we can finally do this properly. Derek's told me so much about you. Marie stood. The room tilted slightly. Too much wine on an empty stomach. What's the bag for? Sophia glanced at Derek. Derek cleared his throat. I thought it made sense for Sophia to stay over, in the guest room, so we can all get comfortable with this new dynamic. Tonight, Marie's voice rose. You're moving her in tonight? Not moving in, Derek said quickly. Just staying, to talk, to normalize this. Normalize, like anything about this was normal. I agreed to think about it, Marie said. That was 4 hours ago, and you're already bringing her into our home. It's my home, Derek said. The words were quiet but sharp. My lease, my apartment. And I'm trying to be transparent here, Marie. You said you wanted honesty. There it was, the threat beneath the progressive language. This wasn't her home. She had no claim here, no power, no choice. Marie looked at Sophia, really looked at her, 23, maybe 24, fresh out of Stanford with a computer science degree and no emotional baggage. Everything Derek wanted, everything Marie used to be before 4 years of trying to fit into his life wore her down. The guest room's yours, Marie said. Her voice was ice. I'll be in the bedroom. She walked past them, locked the bedroom door, sat on the edge of the bed and listened to their voices in the living room. Sophia's laugh, Derek's lower rumble, the sound of the guest room door closing, the sound of Derek's footsteps approaching the bedroom. He tried the handle. Marie, let me in. We need to talk. Tomorrow. Marie, I said tomorrow. His footsteps retreated. Marie lay down fully clothed and stared at the ceiling until exhaustion pulled her under. She woke to voices, morning light, the smell of coffee. Derek had made breakfast, was standing in the kitchen with Sophia, both of them laughing over something on his phone. Sophia was wearing one of Derek's old Stanford t-shirts, like she lived here, like this was normal. Marie stood in the doorway. They didn't notice her at first. Morning, Derek said, when he finally looked up, too cheerful, performing normalcy. Coffee's ready. We were thinking of going house hunting today, for wedding venue options. Sophia has some great ideas about... I'm not going house hunting with your girlfriend, Marie said. She's not my girlfriend. Yet. That's the point of this process, getting to know each other. Process. Like their relationship was a startup he was optimizing. Marie poured coffee, didn't drink it, just held the mug because she needed something to grip that wouldn't break. Her phone rang. The hospice in New York. Marie's heart stopped. I need to take this. She walked into the bedroom, closed the door. Ms. Lawson. The nurse's voice was gentle. Your mother had a difficult night. She's asking for you. We think it might be time to come soon. Soon. The word that meant weeks, maybe days. Marie's mother had been diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer 8 months ago. Given 6 months. Had already outlived the prognosis by 2 months through sheer stubbornness and the promise of seeing Marie get married. I'll book a flight, Marie said. She's stable for now, but soon. Marie ended the call, sat on the bed, stared at her engagement ring. 3 months from now, she was supposed to walk down an aisle in a dress that cost $3,000 to marry a man who was currently in her kitchen with another woman. Her mother was supposed to be there, was supposed to see Marie happy. This wasn't happiness. This was a nightmare dressed up in ethical language and progressive thinking. Marie pulled out her suitcase, started packing. Derek knocked. Everything okay? Was that the hospice? My mother's declining. I'm sorry. He sounded genuine. Maybe he was. Maybe he actually believed he was a good person doing this. Do you need to fly out? Not yet, but soon. Okay, well, when you're ready, we can all sit down and... Derek. Marie turned, looked at him, really looked at him, saw a stranger wearing her fiance's face. I can't do this. Can't do what? Any of this. The polyamory. Sophia. Pretending this is normal. His expression hardened. So you're giving me an ultimatum? No, I'm leaving. Where? Good question. Marie had $900 in her checking account. No apartment. No job in LA. A dying mother in New York and a wedding dress in the closet. Hotel, she said. I need space to think. Fine. But Marie, I meant what I said. I'm doing this with or without your permission. The only difference is whether we're still engaged when I do. Marie zipped her suitcase. Then I guess we'll find out. She walked past him. Past Sophia, still standing in the kitchen. Out the door of the apartment that was never really hers. The Uber driver didn't ask questions when she requested the Chateau Marmont. Marie checked in with Derek's credit card, let him pay for her escape, sat in the room until the walls felt too close, then went downstairs to the bar, ordered whiskey instead of wine because everything was different now and she might as well taste it. The bar was dark leather and low lighting and people who looked like they belonged in magazines. Marie sat in the corner booth, nursing her second whiskey, trying not to cry in public. Chateau Marmont was the kind of place where celebrities came to be discreet and the staff were paid to ignore breakdowns. Marie wasn't a celebrity, but her breakdown was apparently convincing enough that the bartender kept the drinks coming without judgment. Her phone buzzed. Derek again. This is childish. Come back so we can discuss this rationally. She silenced it. That's a $300 bottle of Yamazaki. Marie looked up. The voice came from beside her booth. Deep, accented male. The man was Korean, late 30s maybe. Wearing a burgundy velvet jacket that should have looked ridiculous, but somehow made him look like he owned the building. Probably the city. Dark eyes that saw everything. Black hair styled back from a face carved from stone. A tattoo crept up his neck, partially hidden by his collar. He was devastating in the way dangerous things are devastating. I'm not ruining it, Marie said, her voice rough. I'm improving the flavor profile with tears. His mouth curved slightly, not quite a smile. May I? He gestured to the empty seat across from her. Marie shrugged. Free country. He slid in, ordered whiskey from a passing waitress who appeared instantly like she'd been waiting for his signal. Didn't speak for a moment. Just sat there, comfortable in silence in a way that should have been awkward, but wasn't. Marie studied him. Expensive suit under the velvet jacket, custom tailoring, shoes that cost more than her monthly rent, the kind of watch that showed up in auction catalogues. Rough night? He finally asked. Rough life? Marie took another sip. But thanks for asking. Want to talk about it? Not particularly. She paused. Do you usually approach crying women in hotel bars? Only when they're drinking my favorite whiskey? He leaned back. And only when they look like they're deciding between murder and flight. Marie laughed. It came out darker than she intended. Is it that obvious? I know the look. His eyes held hers. I've worn it. Something about his voice made her believe him. This wasn't a pickup line. This was recognition. Murder's too messy, Marie said. I'm leaning toward flight. Smart choice. Where are you flying to? Haven't decided yet. Somewhere that isn't here. The waitress returned with his drink. He thanked her in Korean, voice soft, then switched back to English. Running from something or towards something? Does it matter? Usually. He sipped his whiskey. Running from something means you're still tied to it. Running towards something means you're free. Marie considered this. Philosophy from strangers. That's new. We're not strangers. We're two people drinking expensive whiskey at midnight. That's basically intimacy in Los Angeles. She smiled despite herself. What's your name? Vincent. Vincent Kang. He extended his hand. Marie shook it. His grip was firm, warm. Marie Lawson. Marie. He said it like he was tasting it. What do you do, Marie Lawson? I was a curator at the Met in New York. Now I'm... She trailed off. What was she now? Unemployed, homeless, engaged to a man who wanted permission to cheat. I'm between opportunities. The Met. Vincent's eyebrows rose. Impressive. What brought you to LA? Love, supposedly. The word tasted bitter. My fiance's startup took off. I gave up my career to support his dream. And now he wants to explore polyamory with his 23-year-old co-worker. The words came out flat, matter of fact, like she was discussing the weather instead of her life imploding. Vincent was quiet for a moment. When he spoke, his voice was careful. And you're opposed to this exploration? I'm opposed to being told I'm either evolved enough to accept it or too uptight to deserve him. Marie finished her drink. I'm opposed to finding out via ambush dinner that there's already someone else, that she's already staying in our apartment, that I'm supposed to normalize this in 12 weeks before our wedding. Ah, Vincent signaled for another round. He's an idiot. Marie laughed again, this time genuine. That simple? That's simple. Any man who has you and thinks he needs someone else is an idiot. His gaze was steady, intense. Or a coward. Usually both. You don't know me. I know you drink good whiskey. I know you left the Met for someone you loved. I know you're sitting here instead of burning his apartment down, which shows remarkable restraint. He paused. And I know you're sharper than you're pretending to be right now. Marie felt something shift in her chest. When was the last time someone had really seen her? What do you do, Vincent Kang? She asked. I acquire things. His smile was enigmatic. Art, mostly. Property. Businesses. You're a collector. Something like that. Marie tilted her head. Vincent Kang. Why do I know that name? I have several galleries in LA, Tokyo, Seoul, New York. He watched her process this. Maybe you've heard of them. She had. Kang galleries were legendary in the art world. Expensive, exclusive, rumoured to deal in acquisitions that existed in legal grey areas. And the owner, there were rumours about him too, about how his family made their real money, about connections to organisations that didn't advertise in the yellow pages. "You're that Kang," Marie said slowly. "I'm that Kang." She should be nervous, should make an excuse and leave. Instead, she felt the first spark of something other than devastation, interest, curiosity, the sense that this conversation was important in ways she didn't yet understand. "So you acquire things," Marie said. "What brings you to Chateau Marmont tonight? Coincidence, or fate, depending on your perspective?" Vincent leaned forward slightly. "I have a problem, Marie Lawson, and I think you might be my solution." "Are you propositioning me? Because I should warn you, my judgment is questionable tonight." "Not that kind of proposition." His smile was dangerous now, real. "I need a date to a charity gala, Saturday night, Getty Center, the kind of event where my reputation needs softening." Marie processed this. "You want me to be your fake girlfriend. I want you to be my date. How real or fake it is, that's up to you." He paused, watching her. "Your ex-fiancé will be there, with his startup board, and I'm told, with his new friend." Marie's heart kicked. "Why would you want to help me?" "Maybe I like beautiful women who improve whiskey with tears." Vincent's expression turned serious. "Maybe I need someone who understands art and can hold a conversation. Maybe I think your ex deserves to see exactly what he's losing. I don't know you. You have 3 days to decide if you want to." He pulled out a black credit card, set it on the table between them. "Buy a dress, something that makes you feel powerful. Car picks you up at 7 Saturday. No obligations beyond one evening." Marie stared at the card, at him, at the possibility of something other than crying in hotel rooms. "Why?" she asked again. "Because Derek was a fool," Vincent said quietly. "And I'm not." Marie woke in the chateau suite, with sunlight streaming through silk curtains, and Vincent Kang's business card on the nightstand. Beside it, the black credit card. She picked it up, turned it over. No spending limit visible. Just his name in raised letters and a phone number written on the back in clean, precise handwriting. Use it. V. Marie should return it. Should text him thanks but no thanks. Should handle her disaster of a life without involving a man she'd met in a bar. A man with dangerous eyes and rumours that followed his name like shadows. Instead, she showered, dressed in yesterday's clothes, and took an Uber to Rodeo Drive. The boutique was the kind of place Marie used to walk past in New York, never dreaming she'd enter. Now she walked in like she belonged there, Vincent's card a talisman of temporary power in her purse. "I need a dress," she told the consultant, "for the Getty Center gala, something that makes a statement." The woman's eyes lit up. "I have just the thing." 2 hours later, Marie stood in front of a mirror, wearing a dress that cost more than her first car. Silver silk that moved like water. Backless, elegant, dangerous. She looked like someone else. Someone who hadn't spent the last 24 hours having her life dismantled. Someone who dated men like Vincent Kang and didn't flinch. "We'll take it," Marie said. She texted Vincent a photo. Just the dress on the hanger, nothing revealing. His response came immediately. "Perfect. Car at 7. Then, thank you for saying yes." Marie stared at those words. When had she said yes? But she had, hadn't she? The moment she picked up that card. The moment she decided Derek didn't get to be the only one making choices. Saturday arrived too quickly, and not quickly enough. Marie spent the day in the hotel room getting ready with an attention to detail that bordered on ritual. Hair pulled back in a sleek bun. Makeup dramatic, gold eyeshadow, dark lips. Her mother's pearl earrings, the ones from her grandmother. Armor disguised as elegance. At 6:50, her phone buzzed. Downstairs. No rush. Marie took one last look in the mirror. Didn't recognize herself. Decided that was exactly right. The town car was black and gleaming. The driver, built like he crushed cars for entertainment, opened the door with surprising gentleness. "Ms. Lawson, I'm Thomas. Mr. Kang's head of security." Security. Right. Because men like Vincent needed security. "Just Marie is fine," she said, sliding into the back seat. Vincent was already there, and Marie's breath caught. He wore a burgundy velvet tuxedo jacket, black shirt underneath, bow tie perfectly tied. The tattoo on his neck was visible now, some kind of Asian script she couldn't read. He looked like he'd stepped out of a film about beautiful, dangerous men who ruined women's lives in the best possible way. "Marie," his eyes traveled over her slowly, deliberately. "You're stunning. You clean up well yourself," he smiled. "Shall we?" The drive to the Getty took 20 minutes through LA traffic. Vincent didn't fill the silence with nervous chatter. Instead, he pointed out pieces of the city like he owned them. Maybe he did. "Nervous?" he asked as they approached. "Terrified," Marie admitted. "I don't know what I'm doing. You're attending a gala with me, that's all. Smile, drink champagne, talk about art. You're a curator. This is your world. Derek will be there." "I know." Vincent's voice went cold. "Let him see you. Let him see us. Let him wonder what the hell he was thinking." Marie turned to face him. "Why are you really doing this?" He was quiet for a moment. "My sister loved art. Died when she was 25. Car accident. She wanted to be a curator like you." He looked out the window. "Every gallery I buy, every piece I acquire, it's for her. So when I heard you talk about the Met, about giving up that dream for someone who didn't deserve it." He met her eyes. "Let's just say I have opinions about people who waste potential." Marie's throat tightened. "I'm sorry about your sister." "Me too." He straightened his cuffs. "Ready to make your ex-fiancé regret every choice he's ever made?" "Despite everything," Marie smiled. "Absolutely." The Getty Center at night was magic. White travertine glowing against the dark sky. Los Angeles sprawling below like scattered diamonds. Guests in tuxedos and gowns climbed the steps toward the entrance, where light and music spilled into the evening. Vincent's hand settled on Marie's lower back as they walked, possessive but gentle. Every eye turned toward them. Marie heard the whispers, saw the stares. "Is that Vincent Kang?" "Who's the woman?" "She's gorgeous." Didn't know he was seeing anyone. Vincent leaned close, his breath warm against her ear. "You're doing perfectly. Just breathe." Inside the event was elegant chaos, champagne, string quartet, walls lined with impressionist paintings that made Marie's curator heart ache. This was her world, the world she'd left behind. "Marie," she turned, felt her spine stiffen. Derek stood 10 feet away, Sophia beside him in a white cocktail dress. He looked shocked, then angry, then something more complicated. "Derek." Marie's voice was cool, professional. "What are you doing here?" His eyes moved to Vincent, widened. "With him?" Vincent's hand pressed slightly against her back, steadying. "Problem." His voice was smooth, dangerous. Derek's face paled. Everyone in LA's business world knew who Vincent Kang was, knew his reputation, knew you didn't challenge him in public. "No problem," Derek managed. "Just surprised to see my fiancé with—" "Ex-fiancé," Marie interrupted. "I returned the ring yesterday, left it on your kitchen counter." She hadn't. But the lie felt good, felt powerful. Sophia grabbed Derek's arm. "Let's go get drinks, babe." Derek didn't move, kept staring at Marie like he was seeing her for the first time. "Marie, we should talk." "No," Vincent said quietly. "You shouldn't." He guided Marie away, smooth as silk. "Well played." Marie was shaking. "I didn't return the ring." "I know, but he doesn't." Vincent grabbed 2 champagne flutes from a passing waiter, handed her one. "Drink, breathe. You just won round 1. "There are rounds?" "Always." He clinked his glass against hers. "Now let's look at some art. Show me what a real curator sees." They walked through the galleries, and slowly, Marie felt herself relaxing. Vincent asked intelligent questions, knew more about art than he'd let on, made her laugh with dry observations about pretentious collectors. "That piece," he gestured to a Monet. "Thoughts?" Marie studied it. "Water lilies, 1919. He painted over 250 of them. This is from his late period, after his cataracts got worse. See how the colours blur? That's not style, that's loss of vision. But still beautiful. Sometimes the flaws make it more beautiful." She turned to him. "Why do you really collect art, Vincent?" "Because beauty matters. Because some things should be preserved." His dark eyes held hers. "Because my sister saw magic in paintings, and I'm trying to see what she saw." Marie's heart did something complicated. "You're not what I expected." "What did you expect?" "Someone harder, colder." "I can be both of those things." His smile was dangerous again. "But not tonight. Tonight I'm just a man at a gala with the most interesting woman in the room." Behind them, Marie heard Derek's voice, too loud. Saw him watching them, Sophia pulling at his arm. Vincent noticed her noticing. "Dance with me." "What? Dance?" He offered his hand. "Let's give him something to really think about." The string quartet was playing something slow. Vincent led her to the small dance floor, pulled her close. One hand on her waist, the other holding hers. They moved together like they'd done this before. "You're good at this," Marie murmured. "My mother insisted on lessons. Said a man who couldn't dance couldn't be trusted." He spun her gently. Was she right? "I'll let you know." They danced through 2 songs before Vincent led her onto the terrace. The night air was cool, LA sprawling below them in lights and shadows. "Thank you," Marie said, "for tonight, for all of this." "Don't thank me yet. The night's not over." Vincent leaned against the railing, studying her. "Tell me something true, Marie Lawson." "Like what?" "Like where you go from here. The hotel room isn't a life. Derek's apartment isn't an option. What's your plan?" Marie laughed hollow. "I don't have one. I have $900 and a suitcase. My mother's dying in New York, and I can't even afford the flight home to say goodbye properly." "Your mother's dying?" "Pancreatic cancer, stage 4. She has weeks, maybe." Marie's voice cracked. The wedding was supposed to be soon so she could be there. So she could see me happy before... She couldn't finish. Vincent was quiet for a long moment. "I'm sorry." "Everyone's sorry. Sorry doesn't pay for flights or hospital bills or the fact that I gave up everything for a man who thinks I'm too uptight to share." "You're not going back to him?" It wasn't a question. Marie shook her head. "No, I'd rather be broken alone." "You don't have to be either." Vincent turned to face her fully. "I have a guest house in Malibu, on my property but separate, private, secure. It's empty." Marie stared. "You're offering me a place to live?" "Temporarily, until you figure out your next move. No rent, no expectations." He held up a hand before she could protest. Before you say no, consider it strategically. You need space from Derek. I need someone around who appreciates art more than money laundering. Money laundering? His smile was dark. Some of my galleries have legitimate purposes, others less so. But the pieces are always real. That's what matters. You're admitting criminal activity to me. I'm being honest, which is more than your ex ever was. Vincent stepped closer. Look, Marie, I have resources. You have talent and taste and nowhere to go. This doesn't have to be charity. You could consult on my acquisitions, legitimate curator work, paid position. Why would you do this for a stranger? Because we're not strangers anymore. We're two people who helped each other tonight. He paused. And because I meant what I said. Derek was a fool. Fools deserve to watch what they lost. Marie's mind raced. A place to live, a job, space to breathe and think and figure out her life. It was too good, too convenient. What do you get out of this? She asked carefully. Your expertise, your company occasionally, someone who doesn't want anything from me except honest work. His eyes held hers. I'm not Derek, Marie. I don't collect people to inflate my ego. If I make an offer, I mean it. This is insane. Probably. He pulled out his phone, showed her photos. A small house overlooking the ocean. White walls, huge windows, clean, modern lines. It has security. Thomas or one of my team is always on the property. You'd be safe. Safe. When had she last felt safe? I need to think. Marie, there you are. Derek's voice cut through the moment. He was walking toward them, Sophia trailing behind. His face was flushed with champagne and anger. We need to talk, Derek said, privately. No, Vincent said quietly. You don't. Derek ignored him, focused on Marie. What are you doing? Making a scene with Kang to get back at me? This is childish. Childish was ambushing me at dinner, Marie said. Childish was moving Sophia into our apartment 12 hours later. My apartment, your startup, your life. I get it, Derek. Marie felt something crystallize inside her. You made it very clear I was just visiting. That's not fair. What's not fair is 4 years of promising me partnership while treating me like an accessory. Her voice was steel now. What's not fair is using progressive language to justify wanting someone younger and more convenient. Sophia stepped forward. Maybe if you were more open-minded. Don't, Marie cut her off. Don't pretend this is about philosophy. You're 23 years old, sleeping with your boss for advancement. I'm not judging, but don't dress it up as enlightenment. Sophia's face reddened. Derek grabbed Marie's arm. You're being dramatic. Vincent moved so fast Marie barely saw it. One moment Derek was touching her. The next Vincent had his wrist, pressure applied with surgical precision. Touch her again, Vincent said, voice like ice, and we'll have a different kind of conversation. Derek yanked his arm back, cradling it. Fear flickered across his face. You can't threaten me. That wasn't a threat. That was a promise. Vincent's smile was terrifying. Now walk away while you still can. Derek looked at Marie. This isn't over. Yes, Marie said quietly. It is. She watched him leave, Sophia hurrying beside him. Felt something settle in her chest. Relief, freedom, terror. You okay? Vincent asked. I think I just ended my engagement. Good. He didn't deserve you. Vincent's phone buzzed. He glanced at it, frowned. I have to handle something. Business emergency. Will you be all right if Thomas takes you back to the hotel? Of course. Go. He hesitated. The guest house offer stands. Think about it. No pressure. Vincent, just think about it. He squeezed her hand, brief and warm. Then he was gone, striding through the gala like a man who owned gravity. Thomas appeared at her elbow. "Ready, Miss Lawson?" "Marie, please, just Marie." The drive back was quiet. Thomas was professional, silent. Marie stared out the window at LA passing by and thought about guest houses and job offers and men with dangerous smiles who collected art for dead sisters. Her phone buzzed. "Vincent, the guest house has a landline. I'll text you the address. No commitment, just options." Then, "You were magnificent tonight." Marie smiled despite herself. Magnificent. When was the last time anyone called her that? Another text from Derek. "We need to talk tomorrow. This is ridiculous. I love you. We can fix this." She deleted it without responding. Thomas pulled up to the chateau. "Ms. Lawson, Marie, Mr. Kang asked me to give you this." He handed her an envelope. Inside was a key and an address in Malibu. A note in Vincent's handwriting. "Your choice. Always." Marie sat in her hotel room holding the key, thinking about Derek's apartment where she'd never belonged, about her mother dying in New York, about a guest house overlooking the ocean, and a man who saw her potential instead of her compliance. Her phone rang. The hospice. Marie's heart stopped. "Ms. Lawson, your mother's stable, but she's asking for you. Says she needs to tell you something important." "I'll come. I'll book the next flight." Marie hung up, looked at the key in her hand, at Vincent's card with his number. She texted him, "I'll take the guest house and the job. When can I start?" His response was immediate. "Tomorrow. I'll send Thomas to collect you at 10. Welcome aboard, Marie, then. And book that flight to New York. I'll cover it. Family comes first." Marie stared at those words. Family comes first. Derek had never said that. Never meant it. If you're hooked on Marie's journey from heartbreak to something dangerously real, hit that like button right now. It helps more people find this story. Trust me, what's coming next will have you on the edge of your seat. Vincent and Marie's fake arrangement is about to get very, very real. And Derek's about to learn what happens when you underestimate the woman you threw away. Don't go anywhere. The stakes are about to get even higher. She booked the flight for next week, packed her suitcase, stared at her engagement ring still on her finger. Slowly, deliberately, she pulled it off. Set it on the nightstand. Tomorrow, she'd start her life over. Tonight, she'd sleep as a free woman. The guest house was everything the photos promised and more. White walls, floor-to-ceiling windows, overlooking the Pacific, minimalist furniture that somehow felt warm. Marie's suitcase looked ridiculous in the pristine bedroom, a reminder of how little she'd left Derek's apartment with, how little she'd had that was really hers. Thomas had driven her from the hotel, carried her bag inside, showed her the security system. "Gate code changes weekly. I'll text it to you. Main house is through the garden if you need anything. Mr. Kang's usually up early." "Thank you, Thomas." "Welcome home, Marie." He said it simply, like she actually belonged here. She spent the first week settling in and working. Vincent had been serious about the consulting position. Each morning, a list appeared via email: potential acquisitions, provenance questions, authentication concerns. Marie researched, provided recommendations, felt her brain wake up after 4 years of atrophy. They had coffee together most mornings on his terrace, talked about art and Los Angeles, and carefully avoided personal topics. He never asked about Derek. She never asked about his business. It was professional, comfortable, safe, until it wasn't. 2 weeks after the gala, Vincent asked her to his private vault. "I want your opinion on something," he said over morning coffee, "something I haven't shown anyone." The vault was in the main house, behind a wall of books that slid away to reveal a temperature-controlled room. Inside, pieces that made Marie's curator heart race. A Rothko, early Picasso sketches, a small Vermeer that museums would kill for. These are incredible, Marie breathed. Some of these should be in museums. Some of them came from museums, before they knew what they had. Vincent walked deeper into the vault. But this one, this is the piece I want you to see. He stopped in front of a painting Marie recognized instantly. Her doctoral thesis had been on this artist, this specific period. That's a Morisot, 1875, woman at her toilette. Vincent watched her reaction. You wrote about this painting, your thesis. I read it. Marie's head spun. You read my thesis? After you mentioned it at the gala. Found it in an academic database. It was brilliant. He gestured to the painting. You talked about how Morisot captured female interiority, how she painted women as full human beings, not decorative objects. You bought this because I wrote about it? I bought it because your passion made me see it differently, made me want to see what you saw. Vincent stepped closer. That's what you do, Marie. You make people see. The vault suddenly felt very small, very warm. Vincent, I need to tell you something. His voice was quiet, serious. The night at the gala, when I offered you the guest house, I told myself it was practical, strategic, helping someone who needed help. It was those things. It was. But it was also because I couldn't stop thinking about you, about how you looked in that bar, devastated but not broken, how you talked about art like it mattered more than money, how you laughed at my terrible jokes. He ran a hand through his hair, frustrated. I'm not good at this, at being honest about what I want. Marie's heart was pounding. What do you want? You, not as my employee, not as my guest, just you. The air between them felt electric, dangerous. I don't know if I can trust this, Marie whispered. Trust you? Derek made me doubt everything. I'm not Derek. Vincent's voice was fierce. I don't say things I don't mean. I don't offer what I can't deliver. If I tell you I want you, I mean every word. Why me? You could have anyone. I don't want anyone. I want the woman who improves whiskey with tears, who sees beauty in flawed paintings, who gave up everything for love and is brave enough to start over. He touched her face, gentle. You're not broken, Marie. You never were. You were just with someone who couldn't see what he had. Marie's breath caught. Vincent. She kissed him. Couldn't help it. Couldn't stop herself. 4 weeks of careful distance shattered in an instant. He responded immediately, pulling her closer, one hand in her hair, the other at her waist. The kiss was intense, desperate, weeks of tension releasing all at once. When they finally broke apart, both breathing hard, Vincent rested his forehead against hers. If we do this, he said roughly, we can't go back to fake, can't go back to professional distance. It changes everything. Maybe I don't want fake anymore, Marie whispered. Maybe I want real, even if it's terrifying. He kissed her again, softer this time, reverent. Then his phone rang. Vincent pulled back, swearing in Korean. Check the screen. I have to take this. Business emergency. Go. Handle it. He kissed her once more, quick and hard. We're not done here. I know. Marie watched him leave, pressed her fingers to her lips. What was she doing? She'd left one relationship disaster and walked straight into... What? A criminal with a heart? A collector who saw her as more than decoration? Her phone rang. The hospice. Ms. Lawson, you should come soon. Your mother's declining faster than expected. Marie's world tilted. How soon? This week. maybe days. She ended the call, sat on the floor of Vincent's vault surrounded by priceless art, and cried. That's where he found her 20 minutes later. Emergency handled, guard dropped completely. He sat beside her, pulled her into his arms, didn't ask questions, just held her while she broke. My mother, Marie finally managed. She's dying. I have to go to New York. Then we go. We? You think I'm letting you face this alone? Vincent's voice was firm. I'll have the jet ready tomorrow. Stay as long as you need. You have a jet? I have several jets. And Marie? He tilted her face up. Your mother is going to meet you happy, not heartbroken, not settling, actually happy. I just kissed my boss in his private vault. Technically, you kissed the man who's completely falling for you. The boss thing is just paperwork. Despite everything, Marie laughed. You're insane. Probably. He helped her stand. But I'm yours, if you'll have me. Marie looked at him. Really looked. Saw someone who'd given her safety and work and space to heal. Who'd bought a painting because her thesis made him see differently. Who was offering to fly across the country so she wouldn't face her mother's death alone. Yes, she said. I'll have you. His smile was devastating. Good, because I don't give up things that matter. And Marie? He kissed her forehead. You matter. They flew to New York the next morning. Vincent's jet was understated luxury, cream leather, polished wood. A bedroom in the back. Marie pretended not to notice. Sleep if you can, Vincent said, as they leveled out over the Midwest. It's a 5-hour flight. Marie couldn't sleep, kept thinking about her mother, about what she'd say, about Vincent sitting across from her reading acquisition reports like flying across the country for someone else's family emergency was perfectly normal. Tell me about her, Vincent said, setting his tablet aside. Your mother. She's a fighter, art history professor at Columbia for 30 years, brilliant, stubborn. She raised me alone after my father died when I was 8. Marie smiled sadly. She taught me to see beauty in everything, even broken things. She sounds like you. I'm not that strong. You left everything for love, then left everything again when you realized it wasn't love at all. That's the strongest thing I know. Vincent reached across, took her hand. She's going to be proud of you. Marie hoped he was right. The hospice was in Upper Manhattan, the kind of place that tried hard to feel like home and failed. Marie's mother was in a private room, sleeping when they arrived. She looked so small. Marie remembered her as larger than life, commanding lecture halls, debating art theory over dinner, filling rooms with her presence. Now she barely made a dent in the hospital bed. Mom, Marie whispered, sitting beside her. It's me. Her mother's eyes fluttered open, focused, smiled. Marie, finally. I'm here. I'm sorry it took so long. Shh. You're here now. Her mother's gaze shifted. Who's the handsome man lurking in the doorway? Vincent stepped forward, surprisingly uncertain. Vincent Kang, Mom. I'm Marie's employer and friend. Employer. Her mother's eyes sharpened despite the morphine. Marie, step outside with your employer for a moment. I need to speak with him. Marie glanced at Vincent, who nodded. She reluctantly left them alone. Through the door, she heard her mother's voice, weaker but firm. What are your intentions with my daughter? Vincent's response was quiet. Marie pressed closer to hear. I'm in love with her. I know it's fast. I know she's vulnerable right now. But I swear to you, I will never hurt her the way Derek did. I'll never make her smaller to make myself bigger. You're Vincent Kang, the Vincent Kang. Yes, ma'am. I know what you are, what you do. My daughter deserves safety. She has it. I have security on her 24/7. No one touches her, no one hurts her. And if they try, they answer to me. A pause. I know I'm not what you imagine for her, but I see her, really see her, and I'll spend every day proving she made the right choice, trusting me. Silence. Then her mother's laugh, rough with illness. Good, because if you break her heart, criminal or not, I'll haunt you from the grave. I believe you would. Marie, stop eavesdropping and come back in here. Marie entered, face burning. Her mother gestured her close. He'll do, her mother said. Better than Derek ever did. That boy only loved himself. Mum, listen, I don't have much time, and I need you to hear this. Her mother gripped Marie's hand with surprising strength. I never wanted you married. I wanted you happy. There's a difference. Derek made you small. This man. She glanced at Vincent. This man looks at you like you're the only person in the world. Tears streamed down Marie's face. I love you, Mum. I love you too. Now go live. Actually live. Not the life you think you should have. The life you want. She smiled at Vincent. Take care of my girl. With everything I have, Vincent promised. Marie's mother passed 3 days later. Peaceful, in her sleep, with Marie holding her hand. The funeral was small. Her mother's academic colleagues, a few distant relatives, Vincent standing beside Marie like a silent guardian. Derek sent flowers with a card. I'm sorry for your loss. We should talk. Marie threw them away unopened. On the flight back to LA, she felt hollow, empty, like someone had scooped out her insides and left a shell. I'm an orphan now, she said quietly, staring out at clouds. No parents, no siblings, just me. Vincent pulled her close. You have me, my crew. Tomas asks about you every day. You have people, Marie. It's not the same. No, but it's something. He kissed her temple. Your mother gave me her blessing before she died. She said to tell you she approved. Marie laughed through tears. She barely knew you. She knew enough. Mothers always do. They landed in LA to chaos. Tomas met them at the airport, face grim. We have a problem, he said. Derek Mitchell hired a private investigator. He's been following Marie, taking photos, building a file. Marie's stomach dropped. Why? Leverage. Vincent's voice went cold. He's planning something. Tomas, what do we know? The PI's good, former FBI. He's documented Marie living at your property, spending your money, working for your galleries. Tomas handed over a folder. He's building a case that Marie's involved in your less legitimate operations. That's insane, Marie said. I curate art. I don't... He doesn't care about truth. He cares about pressure. Vincent flipped through photos. Marie and Vincent having coffee. A dinner. Entering the main house late at night. He's going to threaten to go to the FBI unless you come back. Let him. I have nothing to hide. But I do. Vincent's jaw tightened. If the FBI starts investigating me because of Derek's accusations, they'll freeze assets, shut down galleries, disrupt operations. He looked at Marie. He's not trying to get you back. He's trying to punish you for leaving. Marie felt rage crystallize in her chest. What do? We fight back. Vincent's smile was dangerous. Derek made a mistake. He threatened someone I care about. Now I'm going to show him what happens when you cross me. Vincent. Legally, he assured her. Mostly. I have investigators too. Better ones. And I'm willing to bet Derek has secrets worth uncovering. You want to destroy him. I want to protect you. If destroying him accomplishes that, I'm comfortable with the outcome. Vincent cupped her face. Do you trust me? Marie thought about her mother's blessing. about Vincent flying across the country because she needed him, about how he'd held her while she cried and never once made her feel weak. "Yes," she said, "I trust you." "Good." Vincent pulled out his phone. "Then let's end this." Vincent's investigation team moved fast. Within 48 hours, they had information that made Derek's private investigator look like amateur hour. Marie sat in Vincent's home office while he laid it out like a prosecutor building a case. "Derek's startup is bleeding money," Vincent said, spreading documents across his desk. "He's been covering losses with investor funds. Classic embezzlement scheme, dressed up in Silicon Valley language. How bad? 3 million missing over 18 months. He's been moving money through shell companies, fake vendor contracts." Vincent pulled up another file. "And Sophia Chen isn't just his co-worker. She's the daughter of his largest investor. Their relationship is transactional. He keeps her happy. Her father keeps writing checks." Marie stared at the evidence. The polyamory request was cover. He needed you distracted while he moved money around. Needed the stable relationship image for investors while actually being with Sophia to keep her father's money flowing. Vincent's voice was ice. "You were his alibi and his beard simultaneously. That son of a..." Marie's phone rang. "Derek." She looked at Vincent. He nodded. "Answer it. Let's see what he wants." Marie put it on speaker. "What, Derek?" "Marie, we need to talk about your situation with Kang." "My situation is none of your business. It is when you're shacking up with a criminal, living in his house, taking his money, working for his illegal operations." Derek's voice was oily, false concern. "I'm worried about you. I think you're in over your head." "I'm fine, better than fine." "Are you? Because from where I'm standing, you've moved from one controlling relationship into another. Except this one could land you in federal prison." He paused for effect. "I spoke with my lawyer. If I go to the FBI with what I know about Kang's money laundering, you're implicated. You're consulting on acquisitions for galleries that exist to move dirty money." Marie's blood ran cold. Vincent's face showed nothing, but his eyes were deadly. "So here's what's going to happen," Derek continued. "You're going to leave Kang. Come back to me. We'll call the polyamory thing a misunderstanding. Plan the wedding like none of this happened. And if I don't, I go to the FBI tomorrow. You and your boyfriend face federal charges. His empire crumbles. You lose everything. Again." His voice softened with fake sympathy. "I'm trying to save you, Marie. Don't make this harder than it has to be." "I need time to think," Marie managed. "You have 24 hours. Then I make the call." Derek hung up. Marie looked at Vincent. "He's serious. He'll do it." "I know." Vincent's voice was deadly calm. "Which is why we're ending this, tonight." "How?" "We give him what he wants. Or what he thinks he wants." Vincent pulled out his phone, started texting. "Thomas, Chen, Minjun. I need everyone at the house in an hour. We're setting a trap." The plan was simple and brutal. They'd arrange a meeting, Derek, Sophia, Vincent, and Marie. Derek would think he was negotiating Marie's return. Instead, he'd walk into an ambush of evidence, witnesses, and consequences. "He won't come to your house," Marie said. "He's not stupid. No, but he'll come to neutral ground if he thinks he's winning." Vincent made another call. "I'm arranging a private room at Matsuhisa. High profile enough that he'll feel safe. Private enough that we control the space. Who else will be there?" Vincent's smile was sharp. "Surprises. Trust me." The next evening, Marie dressed like she was going to war. Black dress, simple but elegant. Her mother's pearls. Armor disguised as sophistication. "Ready?" Vincent asked. He wore a black suit, no tie, looked like death in expensive tailoring. To watch Derek's world burn? Absolutely. The restaurant's private room was elegant. Low lighting, minimalist design, a table set for 6. Derek and Sophia were already there when Marie and Vincent arrived. Derek stood, tried for a smile. Marie, I'm glad you came to your senses. Sit down, Derek. Vincent's voice could have frozen fire. Derek sat, looked nervous for the first time. The door opened. A man entered. Late 50s, expensive suit, FBI credentials visible on his belt. Derek's face went white. What is this? This, Vincent said calmly, is Special Agent Rodriguez. He's been investigating your startup for the past 6 months. That's not... You can't... I can, Agent Rodriguez said, sitting down. Mr. Mitchell, you're under investigation for wire fraud, embezzlement, and securities fraud. We've been building a case since one of your investors reported irregularities. Sophia's father walked in next. Older Korean man, furious. Mr. Chen, Derek stammered. I can explain. You've been stealing from me, using my daughter. Chen's voice shook with rage. $3 million of my money funneled through fake contracts, and you made Sophia complicit. I didn't, she knew. I knew nothing. Sophia's composure cracked. You told me those were legitimate expenses. Another woman entered. Late 20s, professional. Hi, Derek. Remember me? Jenna Hartley, your ex-girlfriend from Boston. Derek looked sick. Jenna, the one you pulled the exact same polyamory scam on 4 years ago, while embezzling from your previous startup. Jenna smiled coldly. Turns out you have a pattern. The FBI was very interested when I contacted them. Marie watched Derek's world collapse in real time. Watched him realize he'd been outmaneuvered completely. The FBI doesn't care about Vincent Kang's art galleries, Agent Rodriguez said. They care about you stealing millions of dollars. They care about securities fraud. They care about a pattern of financial crimes across multiple states. But Marie, she's living with him. Ms. Lawson is a legitimate art consultant with a documented salary, taxes paid, legal employment contract. Rodriguez looked bored. Unlike you, Mr. Kang keeps excellent records on his legal operations. Vincent leaned forward. You threatened the wrong person, Derek. You tried to use Marie as leverage against me. Now you get to learn what happens when you cross me. This is entrapment. This is justice, Marie said quietly. You manipulated me for 4 years. Used me as cover while you committed crimes. Tried to force me back using threats. Now you answer for it. Agent Rodriguez stood. Derek Mitchell, you're under arrest for wire fraud and embezzlement. You have the right to remain silent. Marie watched them handcuff him. Watched Sophia turn away, crying. Watched Mr. Chen's lawyers already preparing civil suits. Derek looked at her as they led him out. Marie, please. Goodbye, Derek. Her voice was steel. I hope it was worth it. When they were gone, Marie collapsed into a chair, started laughing, couldn't stop. Vincent knelt beside her. You okay? I'm perfect. She cupped his face. Thank you. Always. He kissed her softly. He can't hurt you anymore. What happens now? Now. Vincent stood, pulled her up. Now we live. Actually live. Starting right now. Marie looked at him. This dangerous, beautiful man who'd saved her in every way that mattered. Then let's go home, she said. And they did. 3 days after Derek's arrest, Marie woke to sunlight streaming through the guest house windows and the smell of coffee drifting from the main house. She'd barely slept, kept replaying the restaurant scene. Derek's face when he realized he'd lost. the satisfaction of watching 4 years of manipulation crumble in minutes, but also the weight of what came next. Her phone showed 17 missed calls from Derek's lawyer, 6 from Sophia, 23 text messages she hadn't read. The story had broken in tech news. Rising startup CEO arrested for fraud. Her name appeared in 2 articles as the ex-fiancé who escaped. Escaped, like she'd been imprisoned. Maybe she had been. Marie pulled on clothes and walked to the main house. Found Vincent on the terrace, laptop open, coffee beside him. He looked up when she approached, and his whole face softened. "Morning," he said. "Sleep okay?" "Not really." She sat beside him. "Is it always like this? Your world? This intensity?" Vincent was quiet for a moment. "Yes. My business requires certain responses to threats. I don't apologize for protecting what's mine." "What's yours?" Marie tested the words. "Am I yours, Vincent?" "Only if you want to be." He closed his laptop, gave her his full attention. "Marie, I need to be clear about something. What happened with Derek, that was me handling a problem. But my life, my real life, it's complicated, dangerous sometimes. I have enemies, people who'd use you to get to me. I know what you are." "Do you?" His voice was serious. "I run legitimate galleries. I also launder money for organizations that don't file tax returns. I acquire art through channels museums don't ask about. I have connections to people who solve problems in ways that don't involve lawyers." He paused. "If you stay with me, you're choosing that world." Marie looked out at the ocean, thought about her mother's words. "The life you want, not the life you think you should have." "Derek was legal," she said slowly. "Corporate, legitimate. Everything he did was technically within the law until it wasn't. He used rules and language to manipulate me, made me feel crazy for objecting." She turned to Vincent. "You're honest about what you are. You've never lied to me, never made me feel small, never pretended your darkness was light. That doesn't make it right. No, but it makes it real." Marie took his hand. "I'm tired of performing morality while feeling dead inside. I'd rather live honestly, even if it's complicated." Vincent pulled her close. "You're sure? Because once you're fully in my world, it's harder to leave. People will know you're connected to me. That comes with protection, but also risk." "I'm sure." Marie kissed him. "I choose you, all of you." His smile was devastating. "Then there's something I need to show you." They drove north along the coast, past Malibu, into areas Marie didn't recognize. Vincent pulled up to a small gallery. White walls, huge windows, ocean view. "What is this?" Marie asked. "Yours, if you want it." Vincent unlocked the door. Inside was empty except for perfect lighting, climate control, security systems. "I bought it 3 years ago. Been waiting for the right curator to run it." Marie walked through the space, stunned. "Vincent, this is a legitimate gallery, completely legal. Your name, your choices, your vision." He leaned against the doorframe. "I meant what I said about your talent. You're wasted just consulting for me. You should have your own space. This must have cost. I'm not asking you to pay rent. I'm offering you a business, partners if you want, or employee with equity, however you're comfortable structuring it." He walked to her. "You gave up your career for Derek. I won't let you give up your dreams for me." Marie felt tears threatening. "Why would you do this?" "Because I'm in love with you." Vincent said it simply, like it was obvious. "Because watching you talk about art is the best part of my day. Because you deserve a life that's yours." "I love you too," Marie whispered. "I think I have since that night in the bar. The night you ruined my favorite whiskey with tears." That's the one. Vincent kissed her, deep and thorough. So, partners. Partners. Marie looked around the gallery, saw possibility, future. When can I start? Tomorrow, next month, never. Your timeline. He pulled her against him. We have time, Marie. No rush, no pressure. Just us figuring this out together. They spent the afternoon planning. Gallery focus, acquisition strategy, opening timeline. Vincent made calls to his art world connections. Marie sketched layouts and exhibition concepts. It felt like partnership. Real partnership. Not Marie supporting someone else's dream while hers withered. That evening, back at the Malibu house, Vincent's phone buzzed. He frowned at the screen. Problem? Marie asked. Derek posted bail. His lawyer's good. Vincent showed her the alert. He's out pending trial. Marie's stomach dropped. Can he come near me? No. Restraining orders in place. But Vincent pulled her close. I'm increasing security. Tomas will have someone on you whenever you leave the property. You think he'll try something? I think desperate men do stupid things. And Derek's desperate. Vincent's jaw tightened. But he won't get near you. I promise. Marie's phone rang. Unknown number. She answered without thinking. Marie. Derek's voice, ragged. Please, just listen. Vincent went rigid, mouthed, speaker. Marie put it on speaker. You're not supposed to contact me. I know. I don't care. I'm facing 8 years in federal prison. My company's bankrupt. Investors are suing me. My life is over. His voice cracked. And it's your fault. You and Kang destroyed me. You destroyed yourself, Marie said coldly. I just stopped covering for you. I loved you. I wanted us to grow. You wanted permission to cheat while stealing millions of dollars. Don't dress it up as evolution. Kang's using you. He's a criminal, Marie. When the FBI finishes with me, they'll come for him. And you'll go down too. Is that a threat? Vincent's voice was ice. It's a warning. Marie, walk away now. Before he destroys you like you destroyed me. Derek, Marie said quietly. You called from a restricted number, violating a restraining order to threaten me and the man I love. Congratulations. This call is recorded. Say hello to your lawyer for me. She hung up, looked at Vincent. Tell me that was actually recorded. Every phone in this house records automatically. I'll send it to Agent Rodriguez. Vincent pulled her into his lap. You handled that perfectly. I'm terrified. I know. But you're also brave, stronger than Derek ever deserved. He kissed her forehead. He can't hurt you anymore. I won't let him. Marie believed him, chose to believe him, chose Vincent's dangerous honesty over Derek's legal manipulation, chose the life she wanted instead of the life she thought she should have. Outside, the ocean crashed against rocks. Inside, wrapped in Vincent's arms, Marie felt something she hadn't felt in years. Safe, seen, home. 6 months later, Marie stood in her gallery preparing for opening night. The space had transformed from empty white walls into something magical. Carefully curated pieces from emerging artists, a few strategic loans from Vincent's collection, lighting that made everything glow. Her vision, fully realized. Lawson Contemporary read the sign outside. Her name, her dream. You ready? Vincent appeared in the doorway, wearing the burgundy velvet jacket from their first gala. Deliberate choice. He knew she loved him in it. Terrified, Marie admitted. What if no one comes? Then we drink expensive, wine alone, and I buy everything myself. He crossed to her, straightened her necklace. A gift from him, emeralds that matched her opening night dress. But they'll come. Trust me. He was right. By 7, the gallery was packed. art collectors, museum curators, Vincent's high society connections mixing with Marie's old colleagues from New York. The champagne flowed. Red dots appeared next to sold pieces. Marie floated through the crowd, discussing provenance and artistic vision, feeling alive in a way she'd forgotten was possible. Marie Lawson. A familiar voice cut through the celebration. She turned, felt her smile freeze. Sophia stood near the entrance, looking smaller than Marie remembered. Nervous. "I know I shouldn't be here," Sophia said quickly, "but I needed to apologize for everything, for my part in what Derek did." Marie studied her. 6 months ago she would have been angry. Now she just felt tired. "You were 23. He manipulated you too. That doesn't excuse it." Sophia's eyes were red. "I testified against him at trial, told them everything. He got 12 years. Marie had known about the sentencing. Vincent had told her. She'd felt nothing. Derek was a closed chapter. "Good," Marie said simply. "Are you okay?" Sophia looked surprised. "I'm better. Therapy. New job far from tech. My father's speaking to me again." She paused. "You look happy." "I am." "Good. You deserve it." Sophia glanced at Vincent across the room. "He's different with you. I did some research after everything happened. Vincent Kang has a reputation for being cold, ruthless, but he looks at you like I'm the only person in the world," Marie finished. Her mother's words. "Yeah." Sophia managed a small smile. "I'm glad you found that. I'm sorry I was part of what tried to take it from you." "Apology accepted. Take care of yourself, Sophia." Sophia nodded and left. Marie watched her go, felt the last piece of Derek's destruction finally settle into place. Forgiven, released, done. Vincent appeared at her elbow. "You okay?" "Perfect." She kissed him. "Absolutely perfect." The gallery opening was a triumph. By midnight, half the pieces had sold. Critics praised Marie's eye. Collectors requested private viewings. Her phone filled with messages from curators and artists wanting to work with her. Back at the Malibu house, Marie kicked off her heels and collapsed on Vincent's couch. He sat beside her, pulled her feet into his lap, started massaging them. "Successful first night," he said. "Thanks to you. Your connections, your backing. My money, your vision, your talent, your name on the door." He looked at her seriously. "This is yours, Marie. I'm just the investor who got lucky." "Lucky how?" "Lucky that you walked into a bar 6 months ago, devastated and beautiful, and let me be part of your life." Vincent pulled something from his pocket. Small black box. "Lucky that you chose me despite knowing exactly what I am." Marie's heart stopped. "Vincent, let me finish." He opened the box. Inside, a ring. Emerald center stone. Diamonds surrounding it. Stunning. Unique. Perfectly her. "I know it's fast. I know we've only been together 6 months. But I've never been more sure of anything." He slid off the couch, knelt before her. "Marie Lawson, will you marry me?" Marie stared at him, at the ring, at this dangerous, beautiful man who'd given her space and support and love without conditions. "Yes," she whispered. "God, yes." Vincent slipped the ring on her finger, pulled her down to the floor, kissed her like she was oxygen. "I love you. I love you too." Marie laughed through tears. "My mother would have loved this. You proposing after destroying my ex-fiance and giving me a gallery. She gave me her blessing, remember? Told me to take care of you. You have. You do." Marie kissed him again. "When?" "Whenever you want. Tomorrow. Next year. I'm not going anywhere." 3 years later, Marie Lawson Kang walked into Lawson Contemporary carrying her 18-month-old daughter on her hip. Grace had Vincent's dark eyes and Marie's smile, and a personality that was pure mischief. She babbled in a mix of English and Korean, reaching for paintings she couldn't touch. "No, baby," Marie laughed. "Those are for looking, not touching." Her assistant manager, hired 2 years ago when the gallery expanded, smiled from behind the desk. "New acquisition came in from Tokyo. It's in your office." Marie walked back, Grace bouncing excitedly, found Vincent already there, studying the piece. "Thought I'd surprise you," he said, kissing them both. "Early lunch?" "Perfect." Marie set Grace down, watched her toddle to Vincent, who scooped her up easily. "How's your day?" "Boring meetings, legitimate business only." He grinned. "I'm going straight these days, mostly." "Mostly?" "Got to keep some mystery alive." He kissed her, then Grace, who giggled. "How's my favorite curator?" "Thriving. We just secured a show with the LAGMA. 3 of our artists featured." "That's my brilliant wife." Marie looked at her life, the gallery she'd built, the man she'd married, their daughter, the career she loved, the future stretching ahead, bright and unpredictable. "You know what's funny?" she said. "Derek wanted an open marriage, thought I was limiting him, that our relationship was holding him back. And he's in prison. I'm here, living a life I actually want." Marie smiled. "Turns out I wasn't the limitation. He was." Vincent pulled her close, Grace between them. "His loss, my gain." "Our gain," Marie corrected, touching their daughter's cheek. Outside, Los Angeles glittered in afternoon sun. Inside, surrounded by art and love and possibility, Marie finally understood what her mother meant. This was happiness, not the performance of it, the reality. And it had started with 4 words that destroyed her old life and built something infinitely better. "I think we should explore polyamory." Best thing Derek ever said, because it led her here, home. And that's how Marie Lawson went from crying in a hotel bar to building an empire with the man who saw her worth when everyone else saw her as disposable. If you loved this journey from betrayal to victory, smash that like button and subscribe, because I have more stories where women don't just survive, they thrive. Drop a comment telling me, Team Vincent or Team Derek. Just kidding. We all know Derek belongs exactly where he is. Tell me what city you're watching from, and if you've ever had to choose between safe and real. See you in the next story, where the stakes are even higher and the revenge is even sweeter.